He's an award-winning writer and a financial planner. And he's got such a tremendously inspiring story to share with us about his passion for writing while serving many clients across the country as a financial services planner. I just love the idea of being really good with numbers and a passionate genius creator with words. So I'm so excited to welcome you today to Writer Talks. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and here at Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, I get to interview the winners of our monthly writing contest. So today, I would like you to meet Alan Fleischauer. He is an amazing writer. He has some awesome book covers, and his winning poem, Suicide is Forever, won our first contest as a poem. So we're so excited to welcome you here today, Alan Fleischauer.
Well, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm so excited to talk with you because, first of all, I just love the covers on your Western novels. Your poem is just absolutely heart-wrenching, but beautiful in the way that you wrote it. And so I'm excited to talk with you about how just 5 short years ago, you began to cultivate this wonderfully successful career as a writer on top of your already successful career as a financial planner. So can you talk about how you decided to become a writer on top of all that you already do?
Well, absolutely. And I had actually started a nonfiction book, and it's called Reconfigurement. That is a word that I have copyrighted. And my financial website is called reconfigurement.com. And Reconfigurement is again a nonfiction book that is about reconfiguring your life after 50, planning ahead, perhaps taking a job that you really love, and perhaps working to 70 and 75, but having fun while you're working.
I love it.
The first 3 chapters are on the website, reconfigurement.com. And it also has explanation of me and my staff and on the financial side. And I started writing that. And to be honest with you, there's lots of research. It's very dull when you're writing. And so I decided that I would try some fiction.
Uh-huh.
I grew up reading Louis L'Amour. Remember Louis?
Oh, yeah.
A prolific writer and wonderful writer. So I grew up, I read, I think, every Louis L'Amour book. And so I started, and I decided that I would do that. And in the evening when I go to bed, or I have this little special place that I would go to, and it's a cave. And in my mind, I'm kind of a little engineer, so I would go to the cave, and then I would start to think, well, gee, I don't have this, or I don't have that. So in my mind, before I would go to sleep, I'd start to fill the cave. I needed a commode. I needed a bed. I needed some furniture. And so I took that idea and I developed my first Western, and it's called Rescued.
Wow.
And Rescued won, for my first book, it won first prize, Jan Tickler International, the Laramie Awards. And I thought that was pretty good, given it was my first book.
Mm-hmm.
And I hired some folks to do lots of reviews and commentaries, and all of the reviews were pretty good, except there were a couple of negative reviews, and you know that, you're a writer,
right?
And so one of them was a 1-star, and it basically, she said, your writing's awful. You need to take a writing course.
What?
And I said to myself, well, you know what? Maybe I should. And I did. And I discovered Gotham Writers Workshop, of course, in New York City, Gotham. And I got hooked. I took 3 courses, and it was the best thing I ever made, because it really furthered my writing. Okay. And I'll share a few tips that I got from that.
Absolutely.
A little later. But what that really started is that, and I got better. And so the J.T. Thomas series is going to be 5 books. 4 of them have been published just the last few weeks. The 4th is Tommy's, and that's about a detective agency that he founded.
I'm going to share the screen again so people can see the books on Amazon.
Sure, and what I try to do is something unusual when I write a book. For instance, if you see Rescued on the right, I talked about a cave, a furnace cave. Okay, that's not normal for a Western, and I won't disclose, but there's some things, some very interesting and valuable things in that cave. Okay, and I won't share that. But the next one would be Hunted in the middle there, and the Hunted, I love bed feather pillows, and I always thought, gee, it'd be nice to write a story about a room full of feather pillows, and by gosh, I incorporated that into the book, in the mountains, Colorado mountains, with a person who was running naked through the mountains.
Okay.
How about that?
Oh, yeah, it got my attention.
It was my protagonist, and he was being pursued. He was being hunted. So he found this abandoned farm and former pillow factory, and he, of course, dove. He was freezing. He dove into the pillows and spent the night.
Oh, wow, that's really fun.
The next one, as you see, is Kidnapped in the middle. That's my 3rd. And I will tell you that it's about kidnapping and a ransom delivery. And I will tell you that the ransom delivery and the method of it, I don't think is certainly never done in a Western. I don't think that is ever done in any book. The delivery of ransom and the method that it's been delivered. So what I try to do is something different. The next one is Tommy's, and you can see that just got released, and that's about JT's detective agency that competes with the Pinkertons. Okay. Then I did Just Another Morning at the request and encouragement of my writing instructor, because what they told me was you need to cut back on the words. And if we have any writers listening, my guess is that they've experienced that. So what the suggestion is by my writing coach was, why don't you write a short story, let's say 2,000 words, and then go back and make it 1,000. Cut out the meaningless words. And so I did that, and I got hooked, and I decided to do a short story collection, and it's all about U.S. special events, mostly holidays, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. But then also I decided that I would add 9/11, and you can see the cover is 9/11 and the plane going into it.
Yeah.
And again, Elena from Greece did that cover from 99 Designs. And so there's a short story in there about 9/11, about a gal who had been skiing the week before in Vail, and so she was on that morning. She was in one of those towers, and it slammed into 15 stories above her, but she was in a cast with a crutch. Well, it's her story about going down the stairs with the pushing New Yorkers behind her, and the crutch, and her encounter with the fire chief going up, and it was a fun story to write. And then I've also done, I'm not sure that we've seen that, but I've also done a children's book, a picture book.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's so exciting.
That's dedicated to my granddaughter, Charlie Lou.
Oh, wow.
And it's also on Amazon. It's called Charlie Lou Goes to the Rodeo.
Oh, that's super fun. Let me see if I can find it.
And what that is about is what I like, and I'd like to do a series of them. And each one is a life lesson. And this is no bullying. Don't bully.
What? Okay, here it is.
And Charlie Lou defends a classmate who randomly happens to be at the rodeo. Yeah, there you go. And he happens to be autistic. So it's also a nice gentle introduction to autism. And I collaborated with St. David's in Minnetonka in Minnesota. And so the back cover is no longer my picture. It's a description of autism and an explanation, and then an explanation of St. David's.
And then what did your granddaughter think about Grandpa reading his own book to her?
Actually, I sent it to her mother, and she read it first. But I'm hoping that that when she reads it, when Charlie Lou reads it to her kids, she says, "My grandpa wrote this for me."
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That's that is so cool.
That's fun.
That's just awesome. Excellent. So, Alan, can you share, you mentioned 99 designs, and I'm always talking to authors about how to do a book cover and where to get it, how much does it cost. So 99 Designs is a place online where you can go and share your idea. And then there's designers around the world. As you said, Elena in Greece did yours. How does that work, and would you recommend it?
Well, absolutely. First of all, and especially Elena, and they're out of Australia. And it's inexpensive. What would you guess that I paid for a cover?
$200.
Almost $350.
Oh, okay.
And she'll take as many ideas as you want and redo it. I think it's a wonderful bargain, and I would recommend them entirely. I won't do anything but with 99 Designs.
Love it. Love it. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. So you're also a poet. Would you like to?
I am.
Would you like to read your winning poem that's heart-wrenching on the Two Sisters Writing website? That is also part of our anthology collection of international writers.
I would, and this is dedicated to my middle brother Kirk, who passed away on 11/7/2011, and he suffered from many things: terrible migraines, depression, etc. And he loved poetry, and I wrote this the night after I sat at his desk and went through all the things he left for me after he passed. Okay, and it took me all night. And so this is Suicide Forever. What does one say when his little brother is gone? I don't know. I don't want to know. My throat burns. It feels like my heart is weeping. I know I said, yes, I understand. But how can I ever? I really say, no, please, no. This is beyond me. Tell me good as ahead. Call me and tell me that, little brother. Call me and ramble on. It's okay, I have time. Don't say you love us and then leave us no one to love back. No fair. I'm telling you, you're in trouble. Come on. We will let you win. You can be the smartest, the fastest, the king of the hill. It's your turn. Don't go. Hey, you can ride my bike all day, all week. You pick. It's your turn. We love you. I love you. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay forever.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love how you lighten the weight of that with a little bit of humor and playfulness that you can just hear siblings say, yes, you can ride my bike all day. That's so cute. Okay, so you can read this. It's Suicide is Forever by Alan Fleischauer on our website, twosisterswriting.com under Winning Stories. So, wow, that is powerful, powerful. So, do you find that writing is therapeutic for you?
I would yes, but I would say I just enjoy it. I just enjoy it. Now my grandfather, Emil A. Fleischauer III, retired from his tax practice at 100,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I've got his genes,
Uh-huh.
and I really I hope I'll consider retiring at 80. By the way, tomorrow I'm 68, so this is my
Oh,
last day of
happy
67.
happy birthday. That's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
so I want to continue to write, and and I'm never going to retire from my financial planning business. And my clients that are listening, they know that I only deal with NTPs, non-toxic personality. Every one of them,
Ooh,
every
I
one of
love
everyone is nice. Okay, and so anybody that turns out to be a jerk early on, we just kind of wave them through the lobby. And so all of my clients, about 100, are just nice people.
I
And
love
so
it.
I'm not gonna retire, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing. And most of them have become my friends. And hello all to I know there's uh, about 20 clients listening, so hello guys. And
Hello.
so but I enjoy writing as well. And I'm, I'm not out of ideas. Just I, by the way, I've hired a screenwriter to hopefully pitch it as a movie.
Oh, which one?
Just Die.
Oh, Just Die. Okay. Wow. To pitch it. So you didn't want to do it yourself to write the script?
No. And I know what I'm good at, and I wrote the book. Oh, by the way, Just Die won uh, first prize in the Chanticleer International Paranormal Thriller category. Repeat that. Just Die won the first prize in the Chanticleer International Paranormal Thriller category.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
It's nice. It's according to them, it's over 1,000 manuscripts that beat out, so that's nice. And what shows me also is that I'm making progress on my writing. But I wanted to hire a professional scriptwriter to kind of pitch it as a movie. I have a lot of people that read it and said, "Man, this is a great movie." It is, by the way, about a financial planner that had a mild stroke and wakes up and realizes that he could point at the things, people, animals, and say, "Just die," and they do so right on the spot.
Wow.
And also about how he copes with his curse or his power, and how he's adopted by Homeland Security and then the CIA to do assassinations around the U.S. and the world. And I think it's my best book ever. But so there.
That's
And
fascinating.
I assume that you have writers listening from that are tuning
Oh,
in.
absolutely. Many, many writers watch this program, and that's why I always ask our guest, you, to share tips that you might want to share. And you have such a unique perspective spanning multiple genres with a background that's completely unrelated to writing. So I'm excited to hear your tips.
Well, it's interesting. I will tell you that taking a writing course or two or three was one of the best things I ever did. So I would give kudos to the 1-star rating that I got for Rescued, okay, or the thumbs down, because it really was good. And I went to Gotham's Writers Workshop, and I would say they are fairly inexpensive, especially if you do a group meeting. All right. And the nice thing about group meetings is that, let's say you're writing a book or you're planning a book, and if you can, it'll do 6 weeks, but you'll get feedback on each chapter as you write it from everybody, which is a wonderful way to get a book started. And so when I thought about this, and I thought about, well, what did I really actually learn? in a nutshell. There isn't a short answer to this, but what I did learn, and I incorporate this every time I write, and it is, I like to incorporate in what I write sight, sound, smell, feel, and taste. And you're nodding your head, you know that, right? But
Well,
and so I go back and I write you know, a chapter or a few paragraphs, and I'll go back and then I'll incorporate that and say, all right, what are they seeing? What are the sounds? Okay, I love thunder. And have you do you have, are you familiar with a website called Descriptionaire?
no.
Try it. It is free to writers. You can use it without plagiarism, and it gives you ideas. If you type in sun, it'll talk about sun and sunshine and everything else, and then they'll take that. You can use it as it is in your book, non-plagiarized. What I'll do is I'll just tweak it, or thunder,
Oh,
or whatever, and it's one of my. I always have it at the top. I bookmark it.
I love it. So I'm a book coach, and you are singing my tune because I always tell people write with your six senses, what you can hear, see, touch, taste, feel, and smell. And your sixth sense is your intuition. So what is your gut telling you about that moment? So yeah, I love that. I'm America's Book Coach, americasbookcoach.com. And I love teaching people. So I'm thrilled that you took a class and applied what you learned, because that's how you become a great writer.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that. I'm gonna have to look that up, by the way, when
Thank you.
and well, I mean, if you think about it, you know, this isn't a movie. This is not real life. These are words on a paper or Kindle, and so you need. I mean, um, you can say, "Gee, you're drinking coffee," but how about if you describe the smell, the Java that smells like chocolate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Or I should say, in westerns, it's Arbuckles. That's
Oh, okay.
that was the popular brand back then. Arbuckles. Arbuckles, by the way, did and still does have a peppermint stick in it.
Wow, that's fun.
How about that?
Wow. Those details are so awesome for storytelling.
Absolutely. And I try to. I'm actually working on my 10th book. It's called How the West Was Won
Mm-hmm.
and Then Lost. And it is certainly about my protagonist and his sidekick, but the lost part is about how we almost killed the beavers. We did in fact slaughter the buffalo. In the old west, you know how many buffalo there were at one time?
No.
Over 4 million.
Wow.
And the buffalo hunters they took the skins and let the carcass rot. Think about riding up to that on the prairie. 10,000 or 1,000 stinking buffalo carcasses.
Wow.
We almost killed the Chinese workers on the railroads with smallpox and such. We wiped out numerous Indian bands with smallpox and also hard liquor, by the way. We overfished the salmon in the Pacific to the point where they had to stop the overfishing. So there was a lot of things that were lost, and so I'm incorporating that and doing lots of research on it, and that's a lot of fun.
It
My
is.
guess.
So, can you talk about research? How do you do it?
Oh, God bless the internet and God bless Google.
Yes.
We just couldn't do it without it, you know.
Well,
Um,
I wrote a book years ago about Brazil, and I'd never been there, and there was no internet yet. So it can be done, but it's quite laborious, and the internet makes it so much easier.
well, amen to that. Yeah. No, and yeah. So God bless Google, and I take those. What I also try to incorporate is especially in the westerns, and believe it, a lot of my westerns are about 1850 to 1890. Okay, right in the middle of the Civil War, and believe it or not, there was a lot of inventions that happened at that time. From Thomas Edison and all sorts of stuff. But for instance, in 1853, the first elevator was created. Okay, and believe it or not, it was a steam elevator.
A steam elevator.
Yes, yes. And you can Google it. Google old fashioned, and you had the elevator cage, and then across from it was, I don't know, 6 by 4 feet, a steam engine that would make the elevator go. Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
Fascinating.
yeah. I don't know if you like after dinner drinks, but Grand Marnier, is big in our family. Grand Marnier was originated then. Budweiser
Wow.
Budweiser was originated then. So I in one of my stories, I had the founder of Budweiser. Um, One of my an antagonist came to his house, and our guys got him thrown out. So I like to do a little research, and also, as you know, early on, I'm a drummer in a classic rock band, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, and so what I like to do is kind of just toy with people and uh, and put in things that if you're really paying attention, it's from a song. For instance, in one of my stories, one of the gals gets a horse, uh, and the livery owner that gave it to her said, what's his name? She goes, he doesn't have a horse. He doesn't have a name. Just call him a horse with no name.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at him and says, well, this is America. That can't be. Well, do you remember A Horse with No Name by America?
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Okay.
That's
And
fun.
then I'm a Bob Dylan fan. And so I have in one of my books, it was a jingle jangle morning. Bob Dylan.
Right. Fun. Okay. That's
So I
really clever.
and so I include those, and
Mhm.
so anyway,
Excellent.
that's my story, and
Excellent. Where can people find you? Do you have a website, or what's your favorite way to be contacted?
yeah, and my website as an author is just being developed.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
and it should be out in a month or so. But you
Okay.
can contact me through my reconfigurement.com,
Okay.
and you get over there.
Great.
And
I'll put a
numbers.
link in the description box.
Thank you, thank
You're
you. But
welcome.
yeah, as I said, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a great story. Congratulations, especially on the win and the screenplay and the books. It's amazing. So, any final words you'd like to share?
Well, I guess I'd like to say um, hello to my brother Kirk. I hope he's
Oh,
watching from heaven. One
oh.
of one of the short stories in Just Another Morning is called The Birthday Gift, and it kind of balances out the poem in that Kirk comes back from heaven, and he's in Alan's apartment. Not that I'm married in a house, but it's fiction, right? And so, have you ever been sleeping and you really needed to go to the bathroom, but you can't wake up?
Mm, I don't
No,
know.
and so you're not old enough anyway. And
Okay.
anyway, it's a story. It's a story about Alan sleeping, and he really needs to go to the bathroom, but he's sleeping and he can't get up he's going up and down halls. He's going up down, and he's making up this trying to get to the bathroom, but he smells coffee, and he gets up and he goes to the door, and there's Kirk in his kitchen, my brother, and it's a story about him coming back. For good behavior, he has 1 day on Earth, and he could visit one person.
Wow, fascinating.
And he visits me, and we
Oh,
relive things. And I think the fun part about it is my father passed about the same time he did, and he said, "Yeah, Dad." He said, "Dad said to say hi."
oh.
Emil Jr. He said, "By the way, he is playing cards uh, with John Wayne and God the Father, and they're playing this German game called Sheepshead Schopskopf, which I grew up playing." And he said, "God the Father used to play bridge with the nuns, but he said the heck with them because they cheat. So he's joining John Wayne and him."
That's awesome. Wow, what a great way to wrap this up, this wonderful interview, Alan Fleischauer. I immensely appreciate you taking time to come on Writer Talks tonight to share your wonderful story and inspiration and tips for all the writers out there. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, all of you, for watching this wonderful interview. I hope you step away with some inspiration and great new reading material. Please also give us a thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can watch all the other Writer Talks interviews every Monday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and it's 4 o'clock Pacific time in the afternoon if you're watching from the West Coast. And also, please do follow me at Elizabeth Atkins on Twitter and also at Two Sisters Writing. That's the number 2 Sisters Writing. Check out all our winning stories at twosisterswriting.com. And please, if you are a writer or you want to write a book, please visit americasbookcoach.com. That's where you can learn about all the ways I can help you bring your writing dreams to life. I'm also doing the Ready, Set, Write Your Book Challenge, September 13th to the 16th. It's free, and I'm going to rev you up to write your book and then dive into my 6-month program in October for 6 months to write, publish, and promote your book. You can write it, but I'm going to teach you how to publish it and promote it as well. So lots of good stuff happening here at twosisterswriting.com, including this awesome interview tonight. So thank you for joining us, and I wish you happy reading